Hello everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to the channel. I'm here today with my December 2020 book haul. So I'm going to talk about all of the books that I picked up in the month of December, excluding of course those ones I already showcased in some other videos, which you can find right here on the channel. For example, my Christmas haul video had a ton of books in there, so if you want to see all of the books I grabbed, definitely check some of those past videos out. Today though, I'm going to talk about 10 other books that I happened to pick up this past month, so let's not waste any time at all. Let's dive right in. First up is one from my local used bookstore. We have another Bentley Little novel. This is called The Academy. So you guys know that I'm a Bentley Little fan, I would say. His last book, The Store, which I read a couple months ago, I did not love, but that's okay. I've liked some of his other ones quite a bit. This one looks pretty interesting. It takes place at a school that has just voted to become a charter school. So I have a sneaking suspicion that it's going to be very similar and very familiar to some of the other books I read, including something like The Store, but I typically enjoy Bentley Little's writing style. I just hope the characters are better this time out than they were with The Store. So he does have a track record of providing some excellent characters along some of his books, but the last one unfortunately was not one of them. So I'm hoping this one is a little bit better, but I'm trying to collect as many of his books as I can because I do enjoy him. Now, if I start reading a handful, like maybe 3 in a row that I don't like, then of course I'll stop. But until then, I still like adding into my collection, and I haven't added a Bentley Little book to my collection in a very long time. So it's rare that I come across one cheap that I don't own. So this was one, and of course I paid half the cover price here, so this was only like $4. So that's a very good price for a Bentley Little novel. So definitely going to check out The Academy by Bentley Little sometime soon. And I hope you guys like media tie-ins, because everything else here, the other 9 books, are all media tie-ins in one way or another. So first up is actually a novelization, and this is the novelization to Interstellar. So this one was written by Greg Keyes, who is a pretty well-known author in the novelization game. But this is a film that I've heard a lot of good things about. I believe this is a Nolan film, actually, yeah. But it's a Nolan film that I haven't seen yet, so I definitely have to check this one out soon. Again, this is one that I will definitely watch the film before I read the book, just because I don't want to spoil myself on anything, especially when it comes to a director I love. So very interested to check this one out. I love that I found the novelization, because I've known it's existed for quite a while now, and I've just never been able to find it cheap enough. I got this one for very cheap, so happy to add Interstellar to the novelization collection written by Greg Keyes. The next 3 are all novelizations by the king of novelizations himself, Alan Dean Foster. So first up is Clash of the Titans, and this is the one with Laurence Olivier, Burgess Meredith, Harry Hamlin. So this looks awesome. It has a great cover, and it's one of those with pictures in the middle, which you have to always appreciate. So yeah, this is really cool. So Clash of the Titans is the first one from Alan Dean Foster. And then we have Starman. So this, of course, is the John Carpenter film. This is just a great, like, look at that cover. That's classic. It looks very much like the original poster, I believe. But look at this sticker. I don't know if that's being made out or not, but it's Walden Books. That's so great. So I'm sorry, it's not Walden Books. It's B. Dalton, which is actually even before Walden Books, I believe. So if you're younger than me, you probably don't even know what that is. But yeah, it's an old bookstore. I remember them from the malls. That's where they always were in my neck of the woods anyway. So yeah, this one was released in, 1984. So just a few years after Clash of the Titans, which actually, I just saw something here. This is cool. So this actually lists novelizations that were written by Alan Dean Foster. So we have Alien, I have Clash of the Titans, I need The Man Who Used the Universe. I've never even heard of that before. So yeah, there's a few in there I need to pick up, but that's awesome. So Starman by Alan Dean Foster. And then finally, probably the coolest one here, just given what it is, we have Crawl. So this one is based on the screenplay by Stanford Sherman. Let's see, when was this one released? This was 1983. So we have that 4-year gap there with all of these books came out. So that's really cool. Looking forward to this one. A film, again, I've never seen, and one that I actually have to pick up because I don't own it. I do plan on heading back to Menards, though, very soon, which check out my Menards video if you've not seen that, because I talk about a lot of Mill Creek releases, which Crawl is. So I will be going back there very soon and picking it up for $10. But yeah, excited to have all 3 of these in the collection now by the king himself. Clash of the Titans, Crawl, and Starman, all by Alan Dean Foster. This next one is just so cool because it's so me. I love this series so much. So this is actually one that I found like a couple years ago and decided to pass on it and regretted it ever since. But I was able to find it again at Second and Charles. And that's actually where I got all those Alan Dean Foster books as well. I didn't mention was from Second and Charles. But this is the original novelization of Battle for the Planet of the Apes by David Gerald rather. So if you guys don't know I haven't talked about it too much, but Planet of the Apes is one of my all-time favorite series ever. I absolutely love that series. And so the fact that I could find like an original printing of one of the novelizations just makes me so happy. This one was released in 1973. And look at this here. I love this. The dedication is for Harlan Ellison, who will appreciate the thought. Like, that is just so perfect. I love Harlan Ellison. I love this movie so much. So this is one I will definitely read. I read the original book that this series was based on. I think it was maybe 2 years ago now, and I loved it. It's great. It's different than the movie, quite a bit different, but it's still a really good book. So very intrigued to check out Battle for the Planet of the Apes by David Gerald in the very near future. Some of you guys might remember in one of my haul videos last month, I actually showed that I found an Aliens book in that haul. It was actually book number 3. So I mentioned, and I just need to find book 1 and book 2. Well, fortunately, thanks to eBay, which is where I got these next 4 books from, I was able to find that. So I now have book 1 of the Alien series called Earth Hive and book 2 called Nightmare Asylum. And these were written by Steve Perry. So as I understand it, this trilogy by Stephen Perry is really the only 3 books that are like following each other in this Aliens sequel series. The rest of them are all standalone. But now I have the trilogy, so I'm very happy about that because I found book 3 at my local bookstore, and then I was able to grab book 1 and book 2 on eBay. So they're not in the best shape, admittedly, but they're definitely readable, which is all I really care about. So I'm interested in starting these. I've read, I recently read Alien by Alan Dean Foster. I didn't love it. I just loved the movie so much. I appreciated the movie more than the novelization. But I have read another sequel in book form of the series. Actually, I think it was an Audible original, and I really enjoyed that. So I'm very intrigued to see how this is going to go. Of course, this all takes place before Alien 3 came out, so it's not canon to Alien 3, but it doesn't matter. It's still going to be a fun story that picks up at the end of Aliens. So very intrigued. I'm going to watch Aliens, and then I'm going to read this trilogy. So very excited to check this out. So Aliens Book 1, Earth Hive, and Aliens Book 2, Nightmare Asylum, both written by Steve Perry, wraps up my Aliens sequel trilogy. So very cool to have these in the collection. When I found those Aliens book, it was actually part of a buy 3, get 1 free sale. So I was going through this seller's other books they had for sale, and I came across the Cabin in the Woods novelization. This is written by Tim Levin, who is actually, he wrote some of the books in the newer Star Wars series. He did The Silence, which is now a film. Like, he's a pretty well-known author. And this is one of my faves. Like, I love Cabin in the Woods so much. So I am really intrigued to check this novelization out. I think it's going to be a blast. So actually, I'm interested when this one came out. So this one was released in, it doesn't give me a year. Oh, 2012, for first edition 2012. So I know Cabin in the Woods was made, and then it kind of sat on the shelf for a while until Chris Hemsworth became pretty big, and then they finally released it. So it looks like this one came out after when the film was actually released as opposed to when it was made. So very intrigued to check this one out. I don't imagine it's going to be much different than the final film just because it sat for so long, but we'll see. Excited to have this in the collection. Another one for my novelization. So very cool. The Cabin in the Woods, written by Tim Levin. So last but not least here, and this is the last one in my buy 3, get 1 free sale, we have a trilogy of books. This is the Lando Calrissian Adventures, written by L. Neil Smith. So these are actually, they were 3 standalone novels at one point, and I would like to own them eventually, all standalone. I do own the first one, Lando Calrissian and the Mind Harp of Sharu. I do own that one individually already, so I just got to grab the other 2 and I'll have it. But in the meantime, this is a very readable copy, so I figured I'd pick it up. The only disappointing thing is you can see it's like got this mark here, which is kind of annoying. Again, doesn't affect its readability at all, which is really all I want this for. Lando is just such an interesting character to me. He was actually like the most recent guest star in the Star Wars Galaxy of Fear middle grade series that I'm reading. And I've heard that of all of the characters, Lando seems to be the one that gets written the best. So I'm sure L. Neil Smith probably has the best grasp of him, given the fact that he's written this trilogy. So I'm very intrigued to check these out. Yeah, there are like Han Solo adventures. There's a trilogy for Han Solo, and then there's this Lando trilogy. So very cool. Cannot wait to dive more into this Star Wars universe. Even though these aren't canon, it doesn't matter. It's still going to be fun stories, I'm sure. So intrigued to check this one out. So the Lando Calrissian Adventures by L. Neil Smith is going to wrap up my December book haul. All right, and there they are. Like I said, I hope you guys like media tie-in, because I went media tie-in crazy this past month, and I'm very happy about it. I love media tie-in books, and those are ones that were, I don't think I got rid of any that I didn't already have in my collection with that giant book unhaul I just recently did. So I made room for these, so now I can actually add them to my collection, which is always a good thing. So, you know, media tie-in, middle grade, true crime, like those are the things I like having in my collection, and everything else, and paperback horror, of course, but everything else I can kind of purge out as I need room, and I don't feel too badly about it. But these I like to have in the physical form. So that is going to do it for today. Let me know down in the comments below, what have you guys read from this stack? If anything, probably not, because they're novelizations, but hey, maybe you have. Let me know what's great. Let me know what isn't. I would love to hear from you guys down below, and I love having more of a conversation with you guys down there, so please leave those comments down there for me to reply to. As always, if you guys did enjoy this video, please consider subscribing to Cinefessions here on YouTube, and if not, well, thank you anyway for watching this one. I really do appreciate that. And like I always say, I don't just talk books, I talk all things media, be it books, movies, graphic novels, collectibles. If it's media related, I'm interested in it, and if you are too, you might consider subscribing. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for today. I just want to thank you all so much for watching, and I want to encourage you to consume some media today. I'll catch you next time.